Switch gears right now and talk about yesterday's deadly mass shooting at that high school in Georgia. It's just one of many that have transpired across our country over the past month, sadly. For some students locally, they've only been in the classroom for a couple of days, and now they're faced with new horrors.
So the question is, how do you talk to your children about what's happening? Right now, we're joined by Dr. Wendy Weinstein, Unit Chief of Psychiatry at Bryland Hospital. Dr. Weinstein, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It is unfortunate we have to have another one of these conversations on this couch, but it is important nonetheless. I want to just kind of gauge what your general reaction is to seeing this news.
It's really saddening and it's overwhelming. And if I'm feeling overwhelmed and saddened by it, I can't imagine what young adults are feeling who are in the schools and have to go back to schools every day. One of the things that I think is so important is that we say, you know, talk to me, talk to an adult, talk to someone if you're really getting upset, if there's something on your mind. But it's not so much as talking as how we behave as adults. We have to come together as a community and make our children feel safe, not necessarily say, talk to me if there's an issue, but what can I do as an adult to make you feel safe?
As you're talking about adults and the role that adults play in this, the critical and essential role that adults play in this, in their children's lives. What do you tell them? Because right now there's all kinds of anxieties and children might be acting in a different way because it's the first day of school or it's the second day of school and they're still getting lost and, you know, all these different things, but yet there's this other thing that's happening. What kinds of cues should we as adults look out for in our children that might be different from those first day of school jitters?
Absolutely. So if there's a lot of, if the child decides they don't want to go to school the next day, if they start to complain of physical symptoms, if they start to maybe act out, have temper tantrums, so to speak, crying, or becoming very defiant, I think those are ways in which sometimes young adults can express their feelings that are different than adults.
If we can, maybe let's talk about the professional approach. When you see the news of the mass shootings, the school shootings, especially in recent years, does that kind of change the way you approach the care to the students?
Absolutely. That's a great question, because I want to let them know that when they talk to me, it's safe, that it's okay, that it's not going to go anywhere. Where in the past, I think there was a little bit of a looser way that children or young adults spoke to adults. And we have to really be serious and say, we're here for you. Talk to us. Let us know. We're going to, you know, take this seriously. Take your feelings seriously. Take your mental health seriously. Take your depression and your anxiety seriously. We're not going to just say, oh, it's just because of X, Y, and Z, or first day jitters.
We see an increasing amount of video from these mass shootings. Oftentimes, we hear from the children who witnessed something, or maybe they heard shots, or maybe, God forbid, they watched one of their classmates die, or something like that. But we hear from them. You heard earlier in this broadcast a young girl just completely ripped apart by what she saw and witnessed and all these things. I'm curious what you think as a clinician. What do you think the future of these children is? What is the future for them mentally because of what they've seen, of what they've experienced? They're a part of an exclusive club.
Exactly. If they can get the help they need early and have a sense of stability in their life, they'll be okay. If there's no
kids are resilient.
Kids are resilient. If there's no stability, if there's no talking about it, if they're told to just move on, it's going to be problematic. We can't just say, move on, forget about it, don't think about it. It can't work like that anymore.
Before we let you go, if there is a child, a parent, anyone who wants to talk, what is the best way to reach Bryland Hospital?
The best way to reach Bryland Hospital is by phone or by our website, bryland.com, or 716-886-8200.
Dr. Wendy, thank you. It is always nice when you're here because you help put us at ease. We just wish that it was for a different topic.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Wendy.